Why is being Jewish important to me is a question that I have pursued for many, many years, and in a very serious manner for the past 10 or 11 years. For some reason, Jewish was always important to me, even though I grew up in a home that didn't have a lot of positive Jewish experiences. But it was always an important part of who I was, and I wasn't comfortable with the concept that the importance of being Jewish was because we survived the Holocaust. It wasn't enough. And so on my journeys, what I recognized was Jewish is important to me. It's basically the entire milieu in which I survive in. And it's important to me for two very separate and distinct reasons. One is it gives me a sense of belonging. It gives me a history. I remember the proudest early moment of my life was the '67 war. It was the first time I felt that I believed that I belonged to something that was very powerful. It was an identity that I really wanted to absorb. Beyond that, I had a very small family and didn't know much about them at all. And being Jewish gave me a phenomenal sense of history and belonging and a timeline. And because of the history of the Jewish people and the fact that it did not attract lots of conversions, but rather dealt with many different forms and severity of persecution over the years, it made me very excited to recognize that to be a Jew in the 20th and now the 21st century meant that somehow I withstood a lot of pressures, or my background, my genealogy, withstood a lot of these pressures. So it gave me, on one hand, a tremendous sense of belonging to a group and a distinct personality. On the other side of things, Judaism is very important to me because it is a coda of how to live a life. And, I try to do things correct halakhically. I take many liberties. I drive to synagogue because I like to go to a specific synagogue. And halakhically, that works for me. But no matter what you do, or at least from my standpoint, what I love about being Jewish is I understand the purpose of halakha is to sanctify every moment. To thank God 100 times a day, as the rabbis say, makes you constantly aware that there's a higher power beyond you. It leads to all the teachings of Judaism in terms of compassion, humility, appreciation, a concept that we are able to think about a sense of redemption, that there is a sense of teshuvah, again, sanctification of the ordinary, and an overall respect for human life and this life that we are living in. To me, that really is the heart and soul of why Judaism is important to me. And then, of course, you wrap all of that up in the cloak of ritual and a rich Jewish family life and communal life. To me, it's absolutely a way to live a life.